Hey kids, I'm back. I wanted to just let's wait till the tractor comes by. You know, it's tractor land here. Hopefully this will be the last one for the next 2 minutes. Yeah, I was thinking about a certain person today, and I thought I'd share my thoughts on him. This person's name is Ray Dalio. I think his original birth name or birth surname was Dalio, I think, which means from the oil in Italian, which I thought was a pretty cool surname, but I guess he had it changed to Dalio. And if you don't know this gentleman, he owns the world's biggest hedge fund. Yes, that's right, Ray Dalio. And the gentleman is worth, you know, reportedly about 17 billion with a B US dollars, which is quite a staggering amount. And I tip my hat to Mr. Ray for that. And I also tip my hat for his generosity to actually care enough to come out into the public from his books and from his research to actually teach us and the young ones about business, about mindset, about economy, about the economy and all that, about the business cycles, you know, the long-term business cycles, the short-term business cycles and all that. I mean, if you have the time, I genuinely want you to search for his videos on YouTube about the economy and about his philosophy, his business philosophy and also life philosophy. And there's not enough people of his caliber or of his stature actually teaching people how to succeed in life. So I sincerely actually tip my hat again for him, because as I said, there's not many people like him of his stature doing this. Like Bill Gates and all the other people are taking interviews, but they're not really saying that much in the interview, so you can, you know, so you can sort of get good morsels of wisdom out of them. I mean, they sort of predict the future, what's gonna happen, this and that, what do you think about this and what do you think about that? You know, it's just, and they try hard to be very politically correct because they've made it big now and they don't want to lose it, you know. So they try very hard to be very politically correct, very, you know, very PC about everything they say. And you know, they espouse that they care about people there so much, and all this philanthropy that I'm doing and all this and that, and you know, it's just, you know, it gets tiring. There's a big dog there. Hopefully it's not gonna attack me. If it is, I think this is going to go viral. Yeah, I mean, people they just keep dogs unleashed around here, so which is not very safe for passers-by. So it is what it is, you know. I've never seen this dog just there, but it's kind of a bit of a lazy dog, so it doesn't really care that much. But some dogs around here can be quite vicious, because they teach them to bark on everything that comes by, which is disgusting. But back to Mr. Ray Dalio. So I'm very thankful to him that he came out and cared enough to help people. And as I said, it doesn't happen very often with people of his on his level. 17 billion, come on, I mean, it's very, very, very rare that they have the guts to actually do something or say something, you know, that could be controversial or that could help some people, you know. They just want to keep it very, very on the down low and very, you know, mushy and quite foggy, you know, so you can't really grab them by anything. So I applaud him for that. But when it comes to his philosophy, I mean, it's nothing. His philosophy on life and tackling challenges in life and in business, it's nothing new, really. I mean, we already do this automatically as human beings. I mean, when we come to a problem and the problem kicks us on our ass and we lose, we naturally try to figure out why did we lose. And next time when something similar comes up, you know, we will know, oh, okay, I did that and it turned out badly, so this time I better not do this and I will do something else. So, I mean, we do this naturally, you know, analyzing our mistakes. Another tractor. It didn't take 2 minutes, it took about 5 minutes. It's sort of in the afternoon right now, so it's quite busy, and it's even more busy than usual. So we do this naturally as human beings, you know. We come to a problem, we try to solve the problem, we try to, if we can't solve it, we try to go around the problem, go over the problem, whatever, you know. If you have a wall somewhere, or if you have a fence somewhere, you either try to climb over it, right? You try to go through it, or you walk alongside it for as long as it takes for the fence to disappear, and you can go around it. So this is what we do naturally. There's nothing groundbreaking about his presentation on how to solve problems. The only thing, I mean, not the only thing, but the one thing that I think is quite useful is his insistence on always try to figure out what the reality is, what the truth is. Because when you know the truth, when you know the reality of the situation, I mean the real reality, not what you think the reality is, and not what you assume reality is, but actually testing it and see, okay, yeah, okay, this is the reality of the situation. And once you know the reality of the situation, you can make, you know, informed decisions based on that. Because if you don't know the reality, you will make a decision that will seem right for you, or seem right, but it's going to be wrong at the end because you didn't make a decision based on real reality. So that's very valuable, what he says. But the other stuff that he says about how to overcome obstacles and how to solve problems, I mean, we do this naturally. There's nothing, you know, he didn't really make any groundbreaking observation. We do this, genetically, naturally. So yeah, I mean, but it's true. I mean, it's true what he says, that most people, sort of give up at the first hurdle. So his talk about, you come to a problem, the problem defeats you, you learn something, and then you carry on, and you come to the next problem, and you carry on, and you solve that one, and you carry on. You basically just have to sort of carry on all the time. If you quit very fast, if you quit very quickly, you will not get anywhere, and you will probably jump from one thing to another. I mean, I'm a huge proponent of testing things before you actually put a lot of money into it to scale it up. Because why would you spend a lot of time on something that it's not gonna pan out, So I'm a big proponent of testing things, but at the same time, sometimes people test and drop things too quickly, and I acknowledge that. I even made this mistake myself a few times before. So now, in the last, 5 years or something, in the last 5 years I've always stuck to something for at least 6 months to a year before I drop it. Because before I was just, testing it for a few weeks, that doesn't work, boom. But now, I try to test it for months on end, if possible. With the kite surfing stuff, I tested for a month, and it was obvious. It was obvious by the actual market size and by the actual feedback that we got that it's not gonna happen. Because the market was small and very, very overcrowded. So it's not gonna, it was obvious after a few months that it's not gonna happen. But if there's some, if the market is very, very large, if the market is big and has good potential, then it would be wise for you to stick with it for 6 months to a year and see what happens. Just put everything into it and then see what happens. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Try something else. It is what it is, Okay. So I think certain things that he says is just basic common sense, and certain things that he says and certain other things that he says is more useful to you. But as I said, I have huge respect for Ray Dalio for coming out and helping people. Not a lot of people on his level do that, or have the guts to do that. So hopefully he's gonna continue for a while to do that, and then go back to his business. And that's pretty much it, my opinion on him. I think he's a positive influence in this field, because there are just too many. There are just too many sleazy salesmen in the self-help business, or self-help category. Just too many sleazy salesmen and too many motor mouth fast talkers and bullshitters. I mean, it's refreshing to hear and see somebody who is actually extremely successful. 17 billion. I mean, that's extremely, that's his net worth. His fund is, I don't know, many billions, probably 100 billion. I don't know how much it is, but I mean, that's his personal net worth, 17 billion. I mean, the guy is extremely successful, extremely successful. And for somebody like him to come out and teach people is refreshing, as I said. Too many bullshit salesmen, too many low class, you know, people selling you all sorts of motivational crap, jumping up and down, screaming and lying to you, just bullshitting all around, being very positive about everything. I mean, if the secret to success was being positive about everything, then, you know, it would be then a lot of people would be very, very successful in this world. Most people would be, because you can teach positivity. You just smile and be positive and talk about positive things all the time, you know. If that was the secret to success, you know, a lot more people would be a lot more successful, but they're not, because that's not true, you know. And motivation and all that stuff. I mean, somebody can motivate you for a week, but then you'll go back to your own, you know, predetermined, ingrained groove or loop that you have running, you know, by your body, by your mind, by everything, you know. It's hard to go out of that loop. It's hard to go out of that groove. It's not easy. If you want to get out of the groove and out of that loop that you are replaying every day for the last 20-30 years, you know, that you've been replaying every day, you will have to make drastic decisions and drastic changes in your life. Drastic. I mean, you know, associating with a whole lot of different people, associating with different business mentors, physically moving to another place, to another location that is more conducive to your success. You know, physically cutting some people off. I mean, it sounds cold, but it is. It is what it is. You have to do that. You have to basically get into from an environment that didn't produce results to an environment that could. I'm not gonna say that it will. It will be dependent on you and your work and what you do, but it could. You know, do not try to swim upstream of a very, very strong river, because you're gonna get tired and you're gonna get exhausted after 5 minutes, and you're not gonna move even 2 meters. Okay? Don't swim upstream, which means do not try to be successful in the environment that didn't provide you success up till now. Unless, of course, you were extremely lazy and you didn't try, then maybe the environment is right and the problem was with you. But, you know, if you have drive in life, if you are somebody who wants to make it and you try every day to make it, then it might be the environment. It might be. You know, you will have to change it. It's not a mystery that in Silicon Valley it's much easier to succeed. Even though you have a lot of competition, it's much easier to succeed and get funded and get money, even for some totally insane, stupid, crazy ideas, okay? That would never get funded anywhere else. That's why you have to be there, you know? If Silicon Valley is still the in thing, I don't know, because I haven't been in IT for a long time. But, you know, it's not a secret. You move there and you do something and it's gonna probably work out. If you work hard and you network and you get some people on your side, and that's it. But if you're in Paducah, Kentucky, I don't know what, it's probably not the best incubator of IT, right? Paducah, Kentucky. Is it? I don't know. I don't think it is. So get the fuck out of Paducah, Kentucky and get into an environment which will be conducive to your success. I always preach this. The most important thing about your success is the industry that you pick. Yes, you can make a success in any industry, but you would have to be a total genius and a total workaholic like Elon Musk, okay? You will have to do that. But even he first succeeded and got his first fortune by doing internet, you know, by doing business on the internet when it was new and sort of, you know, in the in thing. So, you know, even he had to start there, and then, you know, he started investing in his sort of passion projects like electric cars and space and Mars and stuff like that. You know, even he had to start there with something that was popular at the time. So you have to be in the right environment that is conducive to your success. Do not try to swim upstream on a raging river and swimming like a maniac and getting nowhere. Just try to pick an environment where the river will glide you to success, which means you will just put yourself in the river, and the river will gently and quite quickly get you to your destination. It's much better than, you know, flailing upstream, right? Much better. So try to get yourself, again, try to get yourself into a proper environment which will be conducive to your success. Okay? So thank you again to Mr. Ray Dalio for being a good guy, and see you next time. Cheers.